Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is none other than the power of the Daleks. So sit back, relax, hide behind your sofa, because the Daleks are coming. It's gonna be fun. The Doctor, newly regenerated into Patrick Troughton, is getting used to his new incarnation. His first aim of business is to look through his 500-year diary. After that, he looks into a mirror and sees the face of his predecessor before he sees his new appearance. Him and his companions, Polly and Ben, then go out onto the surface of a planet named Vulcan, where they discover a mad scientist has come across a capsule in the bog. The Doctor also finds that a inspector who was supposed to come looking for the project has been knocked out. The Doctor decides to impersonate the inspector in hopes of getting answers to what's really going on around there. After Polly, Ben, and the Doctor escape the mercury pools of the swamp outside, once they get inside the facility, the Doctor warns the scientists not to open the capsule, as they threat that whatever's inside may have deadlier intentions. By the end of the first act of this serial, we find out that the Daleks have been inside. Thought to be dead, the Doctor discovers that they have been using electricity of the colony to repower themselves, revitalize themselves, so to speak, and they have been posing themselves as servants to the said scientist. The Doctor tries to convince everyone to stop the Dalek project, even though they may not have weaponry at the moment. They will eventually want their armaments back. However, no one in the colony believes him and believes the Daleks at first to be a helpful guide towards the future. But after discovering how the Daleks are truly made with their mutations, they begin to realize that the sinister bog monsters in the giant pepper pot tanks are more deadly than first thought. The Doctor and his friends fight for the right to survive by trying to find a way to turn off the power. Eventually, they manage this and destroy most of, if not all, the Daleks, except for one that survives in the bog with the murky swamp, and that one will come back to haunt the Doctor later on. So, Power of the Daleks. Another Frankenstein-like story for Doctor Who. A very solid story, so to speak, and a very interesting and intricate way to introduce Patrick Troughton's Doctor as the very first incarnation of the next generation of incarnations to come. The complete change from William Hartnell to Patrick Troughton is so there, and it's so interesting and so funny. Especially with Patrick Troughton going around with a flute half the time. I also love this way that Patrick Troughton still has kind of kept one thing from William Hartnell, which is to walk into a room and pretty much tell people that he's the boss. Patrick Troughton does it a little bit subtly though, whereas Hartnell's was more gruff and definitive, whereas Troughton's way is you either believe me or you don't, sort of thing. And then he also kind of guilt trips people into believing that if they don't believe him, they should go and ask the authorities. Where at that point, in most situations for Troughton, people were too scared to go and ask their higher authorities the truth for fear of getting it wrong. So overall, the power of the Daleks is a strong point, I would say, in Patrick Troughton's era. And for that reason, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible night or day.